What's going on, guys? Dawkbro back again. Hope you're all fantastic today, and welcome back to another Fazbear Frights summary video. Today we are doing a video on the second story of the puppet carver, Jump for Tickets. Another short story, just like the first one, the puppet carver. There's a new character, a new animatronic in this one, which is really cool. And his name is Coils the Clown. Had a lot of people theorize whether this is the clown animatronic mask thing that you see in the FNAF 6 poster, which is a nice idea, or it's the fruit punch clown or stuff like that. But yeah, Coils the Clown, guys, a brand new animatronic for this story, and I enjoyed this story. I would say this has got one of the spoilers. I would say this has got one of the most gruesome endings, I would say. I know we've had some really disturbing stories in Fazbear Fright, but this one made me cringe, like in that way, not like, you know, not that kind of cringe. So yeah, guys, let's get straight into it. I did enjoy it. I thought it was a nice goosebumpy vibe story, nice and short. I always like nice and short ones where it doesn't like drag on. This one didn't at all. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. So the main protagonist in this story is Colton. He's playing an online video game. It starts off like that. His voice has got deep now, so he's getting older, and he's looking down on all the squeaky kids, right, who are playing the online game with him. And he basically hates kids. He hates little kids. He's like a bully. Like, he looks down on them now that he's growing up. He's in that phase where, you know, he thinks games are cringy and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And he's extremely hateful. He's turned very nasty and mean, and that's because there was a car accident last year and his dad unfortunately passed away. And because that happened, everything's unfair to him. Life is unfair. Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to my dad? Why did he go out and have an accident? Like, this is not fair. This has happened to me. I hate everybody now. So the sadness and grief for his dad has now turned to anger in the wrong way of grieving. Okay, and he took all of his anger out on other people. Now, the main plot to this, guys, is that Colton is saving up his arcade tickets at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, okay? So on the arcade machines at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, he's saving up 10,000 tickets to get a new game console, okay? That's the top prize that you can get at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, for 10,000 tickets. And he's been saving up his tickets for months and months and months to get this game console, because his mom can't afford any of the new games anymore, or any of the new game consoles and stuff. So he's saving up his pocket money. He's using his pocket money to spend at the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to get tickets to get the game console. Now, I thought already, like, why doesn't he just save his pocket money from his mom to just save up for the game console? Wouldn't that be a bit easier? Colton must be getting more tickets rather than pocket money, where getting the tickets is faster and less money than actually buying the console itself. And Colton even says that you need skill to get tickets, and he has the skill. He's found a way to get loads of tickets. He arrives at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, guys. Nice little references. Dee Dee's fishing hole. So Dee Dee's referenced in here. And BB's ball drop as well. So people thought it was like BB's Air Adventure, like in the FNAF 3 minigame. And while he's there, we get greeted by Aiden. And Aiden is Colton's little cousin. And Colton says that they're always forced to spend time together. And Colton doesn't like him at all. Colton's very nasty to him. But Aiden just, it goes over his head. And Aiden really likes Colton. Like, really respects him and idolizes him as, you know, his big cousin. But realistically, Colton does not like him, and he doesn't like to spend time with him. And while they're saying hi to each other, Aiden gives Colton a hug. Now, you need to remember this, okay? Aiden gives Colton a hug, but Colton does not respond to it and basically rejects his hug, okay? So Aiden tries to hug Colton, and Colton rejects it. Remember that, okay? Because that's something key later on, that Colton does not hug Aiden back. And while that happens, guys, Freddy Fazbear has an announcement. Now, who's ready to jump for tickets? Get ready for the ticket pulverizer countdown. And this is jump for tickets, okay? So the ticket pulverizer was a sealed, transparent booth. So when you're in the booth, guys, just keep jumping. You jump on the platform. This is really weird. You jump on the platform, okay? And when you jump on the platform, the platform goes down, okay? And when that happens, the tickets fall down from the ceiling, okay? Does that make sense? When a bunch of kids go into the ticket pulverizer and they're all jumping, you can fit loads of kids in that in the booth. They keep jumping up and down, and the tickets fall down. So it's basically like one of those ticket things where it's like air blows around all the tickets and you have to catch them. But yeah, think of it like that, but instead of air and you grabbing the tickets, fans, it's a platform and it's weighted. Every time you compress, like jump onto the platform, and your weight is then put onto it, up and down, tickets come from the ceiling, and then you can start grabbing them, okay? And this is where we get introduced to Coils the clown. Coils the birthday clown. He's basically like the mascot of the ticket pulverizer. Coils the birthday clown animatronic had wonky eyes, one that seemed to look straight ahead, while the other veered down and to the right, and a weird open-jawed grin that reminded Colton of those carnival games where you shoot water in the clown's mouth. Its lanky body was dressed in a lemon and lime coloured striped costume that was decorated with little jingly bells, which, Colton guessed, was so you could hear the clown before you saw it. It reminded him of the old story about the mice who want to hang a bell on a cat to use as an early warning system. The clown's name came from its arms, which were yellow stretchy coils that reminded Colton of the old-fashioned landline phone at his grandmother's house. In one of the clown's three-fingered white-gloved hands, it held several fanned-out tickets. "Now who's ready to jump for tickets?" the clown's high-pitched voice said again, turning up the drama. That's Coils, guys. Like, he's called Coils because he's got coiled arms, like metal coils, and his hands are like that, like slinky arms. I actually thought of the clown from FNAF 6, actually, rather than the Fruit Punch one. Or it could just be a brand new clown animatronic. We'll get to see, though, guys, because I'm pretty sure all of these stories are going to be illustrated in the future. So we'll get to see, like, the canon drawing of Coils the clown. And Colton is basically watching all these kids in the ticket pulverizer getting all of these tickets so easily. They're jumping on the platform. All of these tickets are coming out. And basically, Colton is jealous, and he knows that it's a gold mine for tickets. Now, apparently, though, the machine is rigged to give kids more tickets, okay? So, Colton's age, if Colton goes into the ticket pulverizer and jumps on the platform, he doesn't get a lot of tickets. But if kids go in, they get loads. And this gives Colton the idea to hijack the machine, tamper with the machine to make him win more tickets. Basically, he wants to tweak the machine to make the platform more tight. So when Colton jumps on it, the machine will think he's a little kid and he'll get loads of tickets, if that makes sense. And while he's thinking about this idea, Aiden comes out of the machine and goes to Colton. "Do you want half of my tickets?" Very, very nice thing to do. Colton was mean and told him to go away and leave him alone. So, not good, is it really? Aiden, that was really nice of Aiden to offer that half of his tickets, and Colton was like, "No, just go away, leave me alone." So Colton's plan to tamper with the machine is to break in, because he can't do it while it's open because people are all around. The employees will just kick him out. So he has to try and make a plan to break into Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. A little bit of filler now, guys. Colton's working for his Uncle Mike, fixing cars. This just shows how Colton's really smart, fixing cars. He knows everything about... He's a good mechanic, basically. He knows how to fix things. He knows how to tamper with things. Colton asks Mike if he can borrow his tools. He's going to use those tools to tamper with the ticket pulverizer. Mike says yes, blah, blah, blah. It's very small filler, but it's there. His plan is to sneak in on Saturday. But how is Colton going to do it? Breaking into a pizzeria is going to be difficult with the alarms and stuff. So Colton thinks, hold on, why don't I just hide inside Freddy Fazbear's Pizza when it's closing up? Okay, that's his plan. So on Saturday, he's going to go in, he's going to hide somewhere, employees are going to leave, and then he has his chance to do what he wants. So guys, it's time, it's Saturday. And weirdly, Colton feels pleasure, like he's excited to see Aiden, his cousin, cry when he gets no tickets in the machine. Which is a bit harsh, really, because, mate, your little cousin just offered you his tickets, and now you're imagining him crying that he's not going to get any. So you can see how much his grief of his dad and how he thinks life is unfair has took control of Colton fully. Colton decides to hide in the small storage room at the pizzeria, guys, and he hides behind a cabinet in the storage room. It's basically like the FNAF 1 storage room. It's very small, cleaning supplies, stuff like that. And while he's hiding back there, he starts to feel claustrophobic. So that's Colton's first realization that he's claustrophobic with things. So just hiding there behind the cabinet. It's very, very tight, guys. Just a little gap and he's just hiding behind it. He starts hearing the employees vacuuming and cleaning. There's a tense moment where the employees come into the storage room inside the actual cabinet and open the cabinet and get some bleach and stuff for the toilets. So Colton just got away with it there. The employees leave and Colton is free to do what he wants to do. He forgot to bring his flashlight, okay? So he uses the light on his phone, but when he walks out into the arcade area, the security lights are still on and the arcade machines are all still lit. So he's got perfect visibility anyway. So Colton goes to the ticket pulverizer, gets his screwdriver, and tightens the platform, okay? And he does that because, like I said, the kids won't get a lot of tickets. So there'll hopefully be more tickets for Colton when he goes on it. That's his theory. So he tightens the platform and he's done, okay? Very easy. Doesn't need to go inside the machine. Just outside the platform, tightens up the screws and stuff. So he's got more strength, basically. More resistance. Mission successful, guys. Colton does it. But he realises now he's got in. But how's he going to get out? All of the doors are alarmed. So what's he going to do? If he escapes and goes through the security door, the alarms are going to go off and he's going to be screwed. So he's basically doesn't know what to do at this point. In one of the bathrooms, there is a window that isn't alarmed, okay? So what he does, he gets a dining room chair, climbs up to the window in the bathroom, and gets out using the window. Nice and easy. He leaves, he escapes. Nothing happens. Now, I've actually wrote this down. No sign of possessed animatronics or anything, okay? So when he's roaming around this pizzeria at night, Freddy and the gang are there, by the way, because Freddy announces the ticket pulverizer and stuff. Freddy isn't possessed. Freddy doesn't attack Colton. Freddy doesn't move around at night. There's no movement in the pizzeria. Nothing. Coil's the birthday clown as well. No sign of possession or anything. No visit from him or anything. Okay? Very, very easy. Gets in, tampers the machine, leaves. No night guard either. No night guard. The next day, he goes back into the pizzeria to see his plan. It's mission success. He wants to watch this happen, watch the kids fail. But in fact, Colton fails. When the kids are in the booth, in the ticket pulverizer, they're still getting a bunch of tickets. Bunch of tickets while they're jumping on the platform. So, Colton's tampering failed. And when Colton goes onto the machine and checks for himself to see if he's going to get any more, he doesn't. He doesn't get any tickets either. He doesn't get any tickets while he's on the machine. Now, at this point, guys, Colton is extremely angry. His plan didn't work. Why was his life so unfair, he says. He's failed. He's not getting his tickets. This is the worst moment of his life. Like, it's over for him. When Colton's at home, he tells his mom about what's happened. He doesn't say he's tampered with the machine and stuff. He's just saying, I'm saving tickets to get this console. Like, I'm not getting a lot of tickets. Like, life's so unfair. And his mum just says an easy solution. Why don't you try and get a part-time job? You're old enough now to get a part-time job. Or why don't you work more hours with your uncle to get some more money to save up for the console? But Colton completely ignores his advice. He's angry with his mom, saying this is child labour. But his mom's like, Colton, you're old enough now. You're old enough now to get a part-time job, mate. So although you can see Colton thinks he's the grown-up man on his video game console looking down at all the kids, when in fact he's very immature himself. Now this is the point where Colton becomes obsessed with the ticket pulverizer. He's so angry that he failed. He's so angry that the kids are still getting tickets that he becomes obsessed with tampering with this machine. So he does a bunch of research. He does sketches of the machine. He does better plans to tamper with the machine, not just tweak the platform, actually go inside the machine and tamper with it fully. He does so much research. His grades start to slump. His mom's worried about him, but Colton is just ignoring her completely, blocking her out. So obsessed with this machine now that he just ignores everything that his mom's saying. He actually goes to Freddy's again to do some more research. He goes back to the machine and he sees Coils the Clown. He actually describes it as like a Greek mythology where the machine is this massive monster boss fight and Colton's the hero and Coils is the dragon, the god that, you know, defends the monster. And he actually gets called a weirdo. A kid goes up to him and goes, why are you watching the machine so much? Why are you watching us in the machine, you little weirdo? And Colton's like, okay, I'm attracting too much attention here. I need to make my plans come to life. It's time. And by Friday night, his plan was complete, okay? His plan was actually to sneak into the location in the morning this time. So we had better lighting of the machine and stuff before all the employees and stuff are in. He's going to use the bathroom window to sneak into the location in the morning, okay? Not night time. And this time, like I said, he's not just using a screwdriver at the sides of the platform. He's actually going to be going inside of the machine. So he gets his flashlight ready as well. He's going to go inside the machine. So Saturday morning, his plan is going to come to life. He has a quick sleep and he dreams about winning all of these tickets. You know, he's so happy that this is going to happen. And it's time for Colton to meet the ticket pulverizer once again. He uses the dumpster outside of the pizzeria, moves it to the window, climbs on top of the door, climbs on top of the dumpster, goes inside the pizzeria. And when he's inside, guys, something is different this time. In the hallway between the bathroom and the arcade area, Coils is there. Coils, the birthday clown, is there, standing in the hallway. Colton's just thinking it's just a stupid animatronic, right? So Colton just, you know, walks past Coils like he's just a dumb animatronic. He's just been left there. He's walked into that hallway and then become deactivated. But while he's walking on his way to the ticket pulverizer, he hears the jingling. He hears the jingling of Coils the Clown, guys. So Coils is active in the morning. And of course, Colton feels like he's being followed by Coils, okay? Colton decides to quickly run and hide behind an arcade machine. And Coils, jingling away, walks past Colton. You can imagine this thing like following you around in the morning while the whole location is empty. It's pretty creepy. But at this point, guys, Coils isn't showing any sign of like aggression or anything. It's just an animatronic just walking around. And then Colton makes his way to the ticket pulverizer. But in front of the machine, guys, is Coils the Clown. So it actually looks like Coils is guarding the machine. Just like Colton said before, like the dragon guarding the big boss fight. Yeah, Coils is guarding the machine. He made his way to the ticket pulverizer. When he got there, the clown was standing in front of the machine as if it were guarding it. But when Colton waved his hand in front of the clown's eyes, it didn't react at all. One eye looks ahead, and one looked down and off to the right, like always. And of course, they weren't really looking anyway, Colton told himself. The clown's eyes were as unseeing as the button eyes on Colton's childhood teddy bear. He couldn't let the creepy clown distract him from his mission. So Colton makes his way to the ticket pulverizer. Colton dug through his pockets to find the tools he needed. He set out his phone, a screwdriver, and a flashlight. Colton felt a hand on his shoulder, but it wasn't a normal human hand. He looked down to see a large three-fingered white glove connected to telltale yellow coils. "Get off me!" he yelled. He slapped the hand away, then whirled around and shoved the clown as hard as he could in its midsection. It hurtled backwards, crashed into an arcade cabinet, and fell onto its side. So how creepy is that? Coils put his hand on Colton, but Colton fought back, man. Like, literally slapped him back and pushed him away. And Coils is so light that he just stumbled back and fell to his side. So at this point, guys, Colton pulls open the cover of the machine, sees an opening, and it was very small, but he manages to get inside and crawls inside. Now, when he's inside the machine, he'll be lying down like this, okay, looking up at the machine at the top of the platform and stuff. It's very cramped, okay? Very cramped inside. He can hardly move around. But when he's looking up with his flashlight, he sees the parts he needs to change. After all of his research, he can see what needs to be changed to rig the machine for him to win. Colton squinted at the inner workings of the ticket pulverizer. As he started to loosen a screw, he felt something tightly grip his ankles. He shined his flashlight to see a pair of white-gloved hands, one grasping each ankle. The yellow coil arms were stretched out long, but they contracted as they pulled his body towards the opening where he had entered the compartment. How could the clown weigh so little and yet be so strong? It had pulled his legs straight and was dragging him out of the machine. Once Colton's legs were outside, he wrenched his right leg free and threw a bunch of wild, hard kicks that he felt connect with the clown's body. After one particularly forceful kick, the clown loosened its grip on his other leg, and Colton scrambled to get his full body back into the base of the pulverizer. Once he was inside, he closed the hatch he had entered through behind him. The clown's hands were large, awkward things, and he hoped it would lack the motor skills needed to pull the hatch back open. Besides, from the strength of his kicks, maybe he had put the clown out of commission anyway. So at this point, guys, Coils grabbed Colton's legs to try and get him out of the machine, okay? Good intentions or bad intentions? But this time, guys, Colton actually shuts the hatch fully. And he believes, like, oh, I'm going to shut it shut. I'm going to be able to get out myself anyway. But Coils, with his stupid animatronic hands, won't be able to open the hatch from the outside. So I should be okay now. Colton tampers with the machine successfully. So he's basically loosened the platform now, okay? A lot. So everybody would get more tickets. That's his plan. So even the kids will get more tickets. That's fine. But Colton will get more because he's loosened the platform. So when people are on the platform, it's going to really fall down when kids are jumping on it. So Colton, he's done. He's finished his job. So he tries to get out of the machine. What do you think's happened, guys? He's trapped, okay? The opening will not open from the inside. He tries to knock it fully, push it, and kick it. Can't get out. He's trapped. He's trapped inside the machine. Now, if only Coils could actually help him. He can't. Colton looks outside of the machine and he actually sees Coils stood up. He can see his green shoes or something like that. It doesn't actually imply that Coils tries to open the hatch for him, but Coils is just stood up at the machine. So who knows, man? Maybe Coils was trying to attempt to open the hatch to get him out, but he can't because of his hands. We don't know. It's a hard one. It's a hard one with Coils because we don't know Coils' intentions or not. But the way Coils was trying to pull him out of the machine, Makes it seem to me that Coils was trying to help Colton rather than trying to kill him. And now Colton's screwed. He feels sick. His legs have gone numb. Can you imagine being in that machine, being trapped in there with no air or anything? And his legs went numb. His mouth went dry. He's starting to really panic now. And with his claustrophobia, because he's claustrophobic as well, it's not good at all. Colton realises, oh, he's still got his phone, hasn't he? He can call his mum for help. But when Colton was going into the machine, he set his phone outside of the machine very stupidly. So his phone is on the floor outside of the machine that he can visibly see through the gaps of the machine. His phone starts ringing, which is probably his mum wondering where he is. And Coils, while the phone's ringing, grabs the phone from the floor. So, yeah. Whether that's Coils being evil or not, or just picking up the phone because he hears a noise, we don't know. It does look like Coils is more like a security animatronic as well at the same time. Like he's guarding the machine, he's patrolling the location. So, who knows? It's never implied that, it's never stated in the book that Coils is a security animatronic or a patrolling animatronic, and it's weird how he wasn't active on the night, but he's active in the morning. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza opens, and no one can hear him, okay? The employees can't hear him screaming because the atmosphere is that loud now. Nobody can hear him banging on the ticket pulverizer for help, because his voice is so dry. And when he's shouting for help, it's extremely quiet because his voice is broke because it's so dry. He's been in that machine for a long time now, all morning basically. So his throat's dead, and nobody can hear him inside the machine. Now, who's ready to jump for a ticket? Coils said, its voice actor feigning excitement. Colton knew what would happen next. Some Freddy's employee would open the door of the ticket pulverizer and let in all the overexcited birthday party kids. This was great. If people were in the pulverizer, even if they were stupid little kids, Colton could get them to notice him. They could tell an adult that they heard something screaming under the platform and he would be saved. Colton breathed a sigh of relief. This ordeal would be over soon. He could feel them above him, jostling around and bumping into one another. The platform pressed down on him a little more from their weight. They were giggling and talking to one another in little kid gibberish. Colton suddenly became aware of how urgent his situation was. If the platform was already pressing down on him more from the little kids just standing there, he had to get their attention before they started jumping. His repair to the machine would make the platform dip even lower into his crawl space. Colton banged on the bottom of the platform. Hey! He yelled as loudly as he could with his dry, scratchy throat. Hey, I'm down here! Help me! Help! He was going to have to try harder if he was going to make himself heard over all the noises of the place, plus the noisiness of the kids themselves. He pounded on the bottom of the platform with his hammer. Help! He screamed. I'm trapped in here. Help! Help! Prepare for the ticket pulverizer countdown. Now, when I finish counting, everybody jump up and down as hard as you can. All together, the clown's pre-recorded voice said. The children's screams of excitement drowned out Colton's screams for help. Here we go, the clown announced. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, jump for tickets! So, unfortunately, guys, Colton's screams were not heard by anybody, and the ticket pulverizer has now begun to jump for tickets. Basically, we get a view of the birthday girl called Bella, and she's in the machine. Okay, we get her side, her view of what's happening. Overhead, Bella the birthday girl and her 6 friends jumped in unison. The sound like a stampede of wild buffalo. The platform dropped. They laughed and cheered, and the tickets fell like rain. But then something wasn't right. Bella had jumped in the ticket pulverizer lots of times. This time felt different. The platform wasn't dropping as low as usual. The flow of tickets had slowed to a trickle. It's slowing down, she yelled to her friend, Aiden. Jump harder, Aiden yelled back. Bella jumped higher and landed with more force. The platform dropped. Some tickets sprinkled down, but it was a light shower, not the flood of tickets Bella wanted for her birthday. Let's all hold hands and jump together, Bella yelled. I don't want to hold hands, Aiden yelled back. Come on, it's my birthday, Bella said. Aiden shrugged and relented, and the 7 kids joined in a circle. 1, 2, 3, jump, Bella yelled. The kids leaped, then landed at the same time, forcing the platform down, and then up, and then down further. Jump. The platform dropped an inch. Jump. Then another inch. Jump. And another. Bella and her friends laughed and let go of each other so they could grab the falling tickets. After the next jump, though, the platform didn't go any lower. The kids jumped again, but it stayed put. Bella looked out at her dad, who was outside the ticket pulverizer, cheering them on. It's not working, she yelled. Jump harder, sweetie, her dad called back. Jump, jump, jump. The kids all jumped with as much force as they possibly could. The platform lowered a tiny bit more, less than an inch, then wobbled a little, then stopped. One lonely ticket fell from the machine's ceiling. As it seems from Bella, it's just that the machine's broke. And, you know, they're just encouraged to keep jumping harder and harder to get all these tickets. And what they don't know is that Colton's under the platform. And the reason why the platform's not budging is because Colton's under there and he's getting crushed. And every time that platform gets a little bit lower, it's not because the machine's, you know, trying to work and get fixed. It's because the platform's got nowhere to go because Colton's under there. So when they're jumping and the platform's going lower, it's because Colton's body is getting crushed more and more into jam. So very, 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 very gruesome when you think more about it, right? That Colton's getting crushed by the machine. And the detail that the platform's just, you know, an inch, getting lower inch by inch. It's because Colton's body's getting crushed inch by inch. So Bella's dad returns with a Freddy employee called Ted, and it's busted, okay? They all think that the machine's broken, and unfortunately, they have to turn it off, okay? Turn off the machine, it's done, it's broken, it needs to be repaired. And Ted goes to the kids, don't worry, go to the cashier, and they'll give you some free tickets for what's happened. Don't worry about it. The kids all scoot off. Now, this is something that's interesting, okay? I'm going to read this to you now and see what you think. The clown animatronic was acting weird too. It was pointing at the base of the machine and grabbing at Ted's arms as if it didn't want him to go inside the ticket pulverizer. But of course, it didn't want anything. It was just a stupid robot. A stupid robot that seemed to be malfunctioning. Ted shook his head. So this stupid robot, Coils, was telling Ted not to go back into the machine to go onto the platform. Was every cheap piece of equipment in this rundown place breaking all at the same time? Ted climbed into the pulverizer and jumped on the platform a few times. It hardly moved, even with the force of all his ample weight, though he did think he heard a liquidy squishing sound that, of course, made no sense. He was going to have to call the repair guy. So he doesn't listen to Coils, and he starts jumping on the platform, and when he's jumping on it, he hears squishy noises, which is obviously Colton's body. When Ted exited the machine, the clown robot was standing in front of the door. Its face, which was usually wearing a comically huge grin, was now a mask of tragedy, with a downturned mouth and sad-looking eyes. Was a tear sliding down its cheek, or was Ted imagining things? sometimes he thought he should find a more normal place to work. So guys, he comes out of the machine and sees Coils, and Coils' face has now changed. It's not happy anymore, it's flipped and now sad, and it actually looks like Coils is crying. One of the little kids from the ticket pulverizer must have noticed the clown's sad face too, because he ran up to it and said, "Hey Coils, remember me? I'm your buddy Aiden. Don't be sad, okay? It's bad to be sad. My cousin Colton's sad all the time. That's why I'm saving up my tickets to buy him a present." The little boy threw his arms around the clown animatronic and it hugged him back, holding him in its springy, coiled yellow arms. Weird, Ted thought, walking past the scene on his way to his office. The ticket pulverizer stood empty, or at least empty as far as anyone could see. Ted returned from his office with a sign that he hung on the machine's door. Out of order. The end. So guys, a very gruesome ending for Colton. He gets crushed by the platform in the ticket pulverizer. His plan was to get loads of tickets from the machine and tamper with it, but unfortunately his fate turned horribly wrong and he actually got crushed by the machine that he was trying to tamper with. The ending with Coils the clown. Aiden says, "Don't be sad, Coils," and hugs him. Okay? But Coils hugs him back. Okay? Think about that, guys, okay? Remember that scene at the start where Aiden hugs Colton and Colton doesn't hug him back? This time, Aiden hugs Coils the clown, who is now sad and crying, and Coils hugs Aiden back. Has Colton's spirit now possessed Coils the clown? It looks like it, because Coils' animatronic has now completely changed from announcing the ticket pulverizer. Now Coils is telling Ted not to go onto the machine. Okay, not to go on that platform. And I think he does that. Colton is now possessing the animatronic. Okay? And Colton is saying, "Don't go on that platform again. You're going to squish my body even more. I'm under there. You need to stop, squishing me." Okay? Something's under there. My body is under there. Look, it's out of order. It's broken because my body's under there. Stop going on the platform and crushing my body. That's how I see it. And then when Aiden goes up to Coils and hugs him, and Coils hugs him back, to me that implies that's actually Aiden hugging him back, realising what's happened and realised what Aiden was doing. Aiden was saving up tickets for Colton to get his console. Now Colton's dead, now possessing the clown animatronic, hugs him back, and he's actually crying, okay? A normal animatronic does not just cry like that, okay? To me, Colton has now possessed the birthday animatronic. I hope that makes sense. I think that's how the story's trying to say it. Because originally, Coils the animatronic doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just an animatronic programmed to be an announcer for the ticket pulverizer. He announces the game. Hey, 3, 2, 1, jump. I don't think he knows that. I don't think the animatronic programming knows that Colton's still under there. And then when Colton gets crushed to death, his spirit then possesses Coils. The aftermath is him telling Ted not to go onto the machine, warning him, telling him his body's under there, or trying to tell him, and then hugs Aiden, okay? And that's the ending. Let me know what you guys thought about this story. I thought it was sad. I thought it was gruesome. But yeah, also think about Coils the animatronic itself as well. How Coils was acting like a guard. So when Colton was trying to go into the machine, Coils was actually trying to pull him out. I honestly think that was just animatronic programming. That Coils was programmed to stop anybody from going inside the machine because it's dangerous. So let me know your thoughts, guys. I definitely think Colton possessed Coils at the end there, when he's crushed by the ticket pulverizer. And I think Coils is just a normal animatronic. I don't think there was any possession involved beforehand. Colton got involved with him. I think Coils was just a normal animatronic, just roaming around guarding the ticket pulverizer. That's what I think anyway. So, that was Jump for Tickets, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. A very gruesome demise for Colton, and a possession took place as well. And description about that is when Colton possessed the animatronic, it completely changed. The clown's face went from grinning to sad and actually crying. Okay, tears actually fell from the clown's face. So remember that, okay? With, you know, animatronic possession and stuff like that. The next story is Pizza Kit, okay? This is the last story. And obviously the Stitch Rave part as well at the end that we always do as well, okay? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I enjoyed that story. I liked how we got introduced with Coils, a new character in the Fazbear universe, and a very gruesome end for Colton as well. Very, very detailed with it too, which is, you know, disturbing. But thank you so much, guys. Take care, lots of love, and I'll see you all next time.